Yo guys, what is up? My name is Grizzly, and today I thought I would actually start with a new sort of series where I would basically do like a VoD review of one of my ranked games. And I chose this game where I play Darius, and I played this game I think 1 or 2 days ago, can't really exactly recall. But it was overall a pretty good game where we, as a team, fell behind quite early on. But we then did a comeback later, and I think we ended up winning the game, no spoilers. But this isn't actually like about whether we won the game or not, it's more about like how I played in lane. And this is basically for you guys understanding how to like do a VoD review if you want to look up your own replays. And even though you might not be able to like spot all of your mistakes, honestly I won't even be able to spot all of my own mistakes, since like I am only like a master tier player and I can get a lot better. But I think this would still like be a good showcase of like kind of how to do VoD reviews, and to show you guys what mistakes I made and what I could have done better, and also the things that I did well. So to start things off, I'm playing Darius and I'm playing against Nautilius, and Nautilius is a tank. He's like a pure tank champion, which means that it's a very advantageous matchup for Darius. He will basically have to like melee me pretty much all of the time. He only pretty much has range with his E, and my hook range is longer than that, so he won't be able to harass me that much. Both of us are playing with the Courage of the Colossus mastery, so we will both be really tanky later on. But basically here in lane, I basically want to mimic his pushing, because I don't want him to have a minion advantage. Because Nautilius is very strong throughout the early levels, so you want to make sure that you don't get harassed. So you basically want to push at the same pace as he does. As you can see here, the minions are pretty much equal at this point, and I'm gonna go for this last hit. I'm gonna take a bit of harass, but he actually activates his E late there, I think, or his W, I mean, pretty late there, so I get the free damage on him, but it won't matter that much. We both also started Corrupting Potion. Obviously I had to pop mine there because I took a bit of minion aggro to greed for the last hit, but that should be fine, because since I'm level 2 now, I'm able to sustain off my Q if I hit the outer circle. So basically all you want to make sure that you do in this matchup early on is that you just want to hit as much farm as possible. You won't really be able to deny him that much, because Nautilius, as I said, is really strong early on, especially with the Courage Mastery. Since you can see here, I've built up a slight CS lead, but that's because I'm also pushing. But he can't really go and last hit these minions now, because I've actually built up a slow push. My minions are like, I have a lot more minions than he does, so he can't really trade into me. But this will soon hit his turret, so he will get some of these last hits back, as you can see here. I basically had to go in war there. That ward placement was rather bad, so that's one thing that we can look at right now. I actually wanted to place the ward. I didn't want to spend all the time going down here, because I was afraid that I would miss this creep right here. But I probably could have actually done it here. I just wanted to make sure that I got to lane in time for this one. But if I'm gonna place the ward here, this like makes no sense. I should put it at the edge right here, or I should put it at the edge like in the middle of the hit here, so I can see closer to this angle here if he comes around here. But since Vi's topside, that probably won't happen. But optimally I should have just, because I will get to this creep either way. You see, this creep will live for. Or actually I wouldn't maybe have made it. That's a close call. Oh, anyways. Generally when you ward this brush, if you want to like do it fast and you want to like quickly go to the minions, you either want to place it like here, at the edge here, or at the edge here, so that the jungler will have to like extend more to clear it if they have a sweep or a pink ward, or obviously if you have the time you want to put it as far down here as possible. So that's just a minor detail, but ward placements can be quite vital. Okay, so here I have the lane in a really awkward position, but I have it warded, and I don't actually think I die to a sack gank even if he comes here, because I am full HP and they have to fight into a lot of creeps. And as you can see here, there's only 4 minions left for him to CS here, so if he hits all of them he's only gonna have 15, so I still built up quite a CS lead. So here I will actually take the opportunity to back. I get a pretty good back off, and as you can see here, I will not lose that many creeps. This is pretty much like a standard back. I will pretty much lose this wave, but that should be fine in general, because I will have a lot of farm to get when I get back to lane. And here they actually start a fight, and it's actually really close that I get to Nautilius here, so you can see that was like a couple of frames off, but that's fine. So yeah, I missed pretty much a whole wave. I think I lost like 5 creeps. by backing there. I could have TP'd to lane, but then again, since my bot lane is getting quite fucked, I want to see if I can get a teleport off, so I actually hold the TP. And honestly, I had like such a big CS lead before I backed that even if I lose like a whole wave, it shouldn't matter that much. Like obviously the XP, but he's gonna have to back as well. And if he teleports back to lane, I will have like a position where I can actually do something bot lane. So, and I have this whole wave to CS up here, so this turned out to be really good for me. And if actually I landed that hook on Nautilius, I could have chunked in as well, but I would have probably not gotten the kill anyway. So, yeah, everything turned out just fine. See if I'm gonna hit these. I missed a couple there, but it should be fine. So here I basically have like almost double his CS, and as I said, this is an advantageous matchup, so this is kind of what should happen, pretty much, but I don't know. I think the Nautilus has actually misplayed this quite a bit. Like over here, I think he actually should just like greed and shove out the wave and get his back off, because now he's in such an awkward position, because the lane is like on my side, so he can't really extend for too long without risking dying to Vi, because they have no vision over it right now, obviously. But he hasn't backed yet either, so it's like I'm so much stronger than him that like even if Zac comes, I think I actually kill them both, especially when I get 6. But here I'm just gonna slow push the wave. I have no clue why he's not backing here. I guess it's just like waiting for the wave to push in, but it's gonna be such a huge wave that if Vi is top when this wave crashes with this turret, it will be like the easiest dive ever. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. I guess he just doesn't respect the potential dive, but that's another thing while you're doing VOD reviews. Even if you're having a good game and you want to review that game, but you like stomped your opponent, obviously it has something to do with the opponent playing bad most of the time as well, so you can spot your opponent's mistake and like see that. So here I basically respect that Zac could gank me here, because I could have like just like harassed him here and got him in pretty low, but I don't think I'm actually gonna like kill him. So I wait, but I see Zac bot now, so now I'm gonna continue to go into lane here, and I don't know why he's not respecting this, but I'm probably just gonna dive in here. So he ults me, and yeah, that's fine. I probably could have flashed and gotten him and maybe gotten out alive, like actually probably, but I don't know. I think it's just like way safer to just push in the wave, and if he stays here I can dive him 100%, so let's see if he does. Here you should as Nautilus know that he is in kill range, or maybe, yeah, I messed up the hook. And also it's very important to like consider the Courage of the Colossus mastery, and I'm not sure if he had it up. He probably did actually, and if he has the W and the Courage of the Colossus shield, he has like 300 more HP than what shows here on his avatar or over his unit, so yeah, you have to keep that in mind. And as you can see here, he took the corrupting potion, so now he's basically full HP, but I'm gonna harass him a little bit and make sure that he like can't hit all the CS. Maybe he will anyway. No, he missed that one as well, he missed that one, and the last one. Okay, so he's in a really terrible position right now. He has missed so many creeps, and he hasn't actually backed 8 minutes into the game. So this guy's back timings are actually really horrid. And as you can see, you would think that because he stayed in lane for such a long time, that he like wouldn't miss as much, but since I got the back off where I did, and I only missed 5 creeps by doing it, if you remember, it actually like gave me so much at the end of the day, because I had the double long swords, and he wasn't able to like even trade with me, and when the wave shoved into me after I backed, because I bounced the wave in the turret before I backed, right, he basically couldn't like contest, he couldn't like trade me under the turret or harass me on my side of the lane, because he was so scared of actually dying. So that ended up being really bad for him. If I was in his position there, I would realize that I fucked up, and I would just like back, and I would teleport onto the creeps like right beside my turret, like just risk it, or have your jungler come top optimally and like make sure that you don't get ganked, because if you teleport on their side of the lane and the enemy jungler is there, you can just like straight up die and they can push everything into your turret and you're fucked. But yeah, I think you have to go like for a risky move there, because right now he's in a such terrible position, and I basically like have complete lane dominance. Okay, so now I'm just gonna make sure that he has to go into me to actually get this yes. I'm not gonna like shove it into his turret for free. I'm gonna make sure that he has to contest the creeps by trading me, and as you can see, he missed the siege there, and he's continuing to missing a lot of creeps, and it's actually pushing towards me a tiny bit right now. But I want to make sure that I hit everything as well, because actually, in matchups such as these, like Darius into Nautilus, generally I think that going even in CS can be fine, because you get so much more like damage in the 1v1 from gold than he does, if that makes sense. But we both benefit a lot from levels, so as long as we both stay in XP range and I get all the last hits and he gets all the last hits, I should still be able to like win all the trades pretty handily. But obviously if you can get a CS advantage, that's really good as well. So as you can see here, our team is kind of losing, but that's not like at all the point of this video. Everything that you should like focus on, especially if you're like lower elo when you're playing top lane, is just like winning your lane. That's like all you have to do. But if you get a TP opportunity, you can go for that as well. And I'm not sure if I actually end up getting anything here. I basically just TP'd for safety so that Zac couldn't turn onto them here, because Nami was so low that if I didn't TP, Ezreal would have probably chased this Blitzcrank either way, right? Because for Ezreal it's like, it's worth him getting a kill onto Blitz for Zac getting a kill onto his support, right? So he would have continued chasing that kill, right? And if Blitzcrank just has a brain, which he actually has in this scenario, and runs up river, right, then Ezreal has to chase him here, and that leaves Nam in a really dangerous position for like Zac to kill her. So I basically just TP'd for safety there, and because I've still like I almost double my CS top lane, I can lose like 3 waves and it wouldn't like matter at all. I wouldn't even like be in the like possibility of getting dove even 2v1. So this is like overall just securing a lead for your other lanes when you're yourself in a really good position. And the reason why I'm able to go away with this, or like why I didn't like lose anything of this, was because I actually built an advantage early on in my lane 1v1. So basically what you want to try and do is you want to win your lane as hard as possible, so you can like translate that advantage onto the other lanes. And that's a rather solid example of that. I didn't really like snowball them, I just made sure that they basically didn't die and they got out alive. And here we could have taken the Drake probably if Y was here, but she's based, so that's quite awkward. So basically now I'm just gonna go into mid. I'm gonna have to flash here because obviously they were there, and I should have known that because I actually got the like vision thing from the plant here, so I probably should have taken the safe path. But overall it doesn't really matter. I lose 1 wave top and we secured another kill, or we didn't secure the kill, but I basically saved my support for doing that, and that's fine. Like I blew my flash and I lost like maybe 9 creeps for basically making sure that my support didn't die. And basically my advantage top right now, it can't really get any more. If Nautilius wants to stay alive in the lane, he probably can do it. As you have seen, it's really hard to like dive a Nautilus, so basically all I can do is get a CS advantage and then snowball that or like translate that into other lanes. But this was basically a VoD review of the early game laning phase. Obviously later on in the game team fight starts happening, and that's like really reliant on your team and whatnot. And in this game I basically think that I was just really fed in the front line, and the only one who could really kill me was Vayne. So I basically made sure that I like used flash on her every fight, and since we have like Vi and Katarina, she will get quite fucked later on. And we basically ended up winning the game, even though we fall behind quite early. But generally this is kind of how you want to do your VoD reviews. You want to look at your own mistakes, you want to look at the opponent's mistake, and you want to like look for opportunities in what you could have done better. So anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.